What's up, Blockheads? Here at the Yamaha tent for Bike Week 2020 in Daytona, and we are test riding the new 2020 Yamaha MT-07. Beautiful bike. You guys know, if you watch the channel at all, I've kind of had a love affair with this thing. Naked upright, big fan. It's comfortable, it's quick. Key up here, on, neutral. So your left side controls, you've got high beam, low beam, you've got left signal, right signal. You press N to cancel. Oh, this thing is way more tame. You got some specs right here. So seat height 31.7 inches, wet weight is 403 pounds, 689 cc. That's a beast of a bike right there, man, the MT-10. So the previous bikes that we've ridden were Kawasaki. We did the ZX6R today. Yeah, did the ZX6R, and then also did the Ninja 1000. So this one, I can tell you, like, coming off the throttle in that friction zone, it is taking a little bit more clutch. It's not quite as responsive. The display is just your traditional, you got your fuel level in the upper left, RPMs at the bottom, gear indicator right in the middle, your miles per hour on the right, your miles per gallon there. It doesn't look like we have any ability to, like, change modes or anything. But man, just, it's such a lightweight bike, you know, coming in at 403 pounds. It just feels so responsive. Traditionally with mirrors like this, I've got a issue, you know, I've got wider shoulders, and I'm usually looking at my arms, but these actually stick out far enough to where I can see behind me, which is nice. Shifting feels very prominent. It's like a nice click up and down. Coming to a stop, so I'm 5'10". This is where my feet set. Almost flat footing it. If I were to like stick my feet a little more in, I'd be flat footing it, but I mean, it's really comfortable. Not quite flat foot with the heel down, but just above the ground. If I were coming to a stop normally, just, you know, stop and go or whatever, I'd probably just like single foot it. Shifting feels nice. I mean, it's definitely a nice click in the shifter peg, so that, you know, it's got that nice confirmation that, like, you've actually shifted. It is very responsive. One of the things I love about this bike is that it just feels so nimble. You know, it is a naked upright. The ergonomics of it, I mean, you're pretty much just sitting upright. You're not squished up. My legs don't feel squished at all. You know, they set nicely on the pegs, which are more, I mean, they're not rear sets, so they're more like, you know, in the middle. Mid controls, I guess. Would you call that mid controls on a sport bike? I believe it has the ability to have a quick shifter and an auto blipper, but I don't think it comes like that from the factory or anything. Leaning them feels great. They're such lightweight bikes. Love it. Finding neutral is easy. So basically went into neutral from second gear, so half shift down. Some good power to it. Definitely not overwhelming. So I've ridden the MT-07 or the FZ-07 as well, and then also the FC MT-09, and then I've also done the 10. So the 10 is ridiculous powerful. It's one of the few bikes, I mean, actually on this test ride a couple years ago, I was doing the 10, and I was coming out of second gear and it power wheelied and my bars went sideways. I came back down, managed to straighten it out, but that bike kind of scared me. It's like a ton of power, and I was just kind of like, this bike isn't for me. So the 09, like the MT-09 or the FZ-09, has a good amount of power, but it's not just ridiculous like the 10. And then this one, it has a good amount of power, but you can definitely feel that it's in comparison to those, that it is lacking a bit. If you're just getting started and you're looking into like a Yamaha MT or FZ, you know, you like the naked sport bike line and you want to go Yamaha, like the 07 would definitely be like a really good starter, because it does seem a little more tame on the throttle. It's not quite as responsive as those other two, so it's going to leave you some more room to, I don't want to say make mistakes, but you gotta, I mean, you gotta come out more on the friction zone. You gotta give it more throttle in order to, like, obviously go more, versus like bikes that have more power, you barely have to twist back on throttle to get more responsiveness out of it. So it being less responsive, like, kind of, I don't know what term to use there. Maybe like it's limited a bit more, would actually be better for newer riders. Blinker still on. I always do that. I'm used to riding Harleys. Just to give a little bit of a background about the bikes that I've ridden. So I've had sport bikes, which is, you know, more of this category, naked sport bike. I've had a Yamaha R6, also had a Honda CBR 1000 RR, and then I have cruisers, so a couple Harleys, Softails, Sportsters, and then also a couple Honda Groms. So personally, you know, just based on my experience level, this is a cool bike, but I would prefer the 09 for sure. Like I said, the MT-09 or the FZ-09. So basically they ended up naming it from the FZ-09 or the FZ line, so FZ, you know, 10, 9, and 7 to MT. I think that was like the Euro naming convention for it was MT. And so I don't know if they just updated it here or what, but people seem to like it. I know in a few of the like past years, because you can find these bikes used all day, you know, on Cycle Trader, on Craigslist, for really good pricing. You know, the Yamaha, they're reliable, the parts are cheap if you do need to repair it or replace or anything. I don't want to be in your blind spot, car. Yeah, the parts aren't that bad. Maintenance is easy. But I know on some of the previous FZs, one of the biggest points of feedback that I've heard is talking about the throttle and how it's not very linear. So the power band on this thing is, it just feels very linear. You know, it's more tame, kind of towards the bottom, but as you want to get going faster, it does get going pretty good. On this, you know, more tame, and it does have a nice linear power curve. And I mean, this is one of the things I absolutely love about this bike, is that it just leans so easily. It's so nice. It's lightweight. It's just got, I don't know, it's a really like good bike. It just feels really nice. One of the things I do like about this is actually whenever you like pull the clutch in and shift, normally the gear indicator goes away, but this one you actually pull in and shift and it tells you what gear you're in. So if I were to go into fourth, even before letting out the clutch, it's going to tell me what gear I'm in. See, bam, 4, and then I let out the clutch. So a lot of bikes don't do that. Like if you pull the gear or pull the clutch lever in, it won't tell you what gear you're in until you've let the clutch out. So that's actually pretty nice, because on the rare chance that you pull your clutch in and you kind of get lost, you're like, oh damn it, like, am I in the right gear for the speed kind of thing? This is great. Definitely love the feeling of it, the ergonomics, the handling. I don't feel cramped up at all. Like I said, I'm 5'10", sitting upright on it. Yeah, definitely no complaints. Big fan of the ergonomics. Overall, I mean, you know, like I said, I'm a fan of the MT or FZ line. You just kind of have to choose. Like if you're looking into, obviously, the FZ or MTs, how much power do you want? You know, the 07 is going to be at the lower end, the 09 is going to be more mid, but still plenty powerful. They're all plenty powerful. And then the 10 is just crazy powerful, ridiculous. Like they were talking about it earlier, and one of the Yamaha guys was basically asking if they'd ever ridden one before, and he was like, oh, I've got a S1000RR, a BMW S1000RR, and he was like, yeah, this bike isn't anything like that. And I'm like, it really isn't. You know, like the freaking FZ10 is a monster. Find an event from Yamaha near you if you're looking to test ride them. If you're looking into these bikes, try and set up a test ride. If not, obviously you got to kind of go off of what you see online. But you know, if you're a newer rider, this would totally fit the bill. If you're a more experienced rider, you're looking for something that's got a little bit more of a little bit higher of a power band. Obviously the FZ-09 or the MT-09 would fit the bill a little better. And then just, I don't know, the MT-10, that thing's just ridiculous fast. Like, I just can't ever see using all of that power. It's a fun ride, you just gotta really respect it. You gotta respect all of them. Yeah, it's got some nice get up and go. They're very controllable though, very controllable. Like, it's not gonna get away from you too quickly at all. Yeah, I'm actually really glad I test rode this one, because I've always looked at these bikes and thought like, man, that's a cool bike, because I've ridden them previously like quite a bit, you know, here and there. And every time I ride one, I'm like, man, that is such a nice bike. But this definitely, I think, you know, if I were to ever go this route, it definitely seals the my decision of it being an 09 instead of an 07 or a 10. For me, the 10 is just too much. Like, I would never use all that bike. The 07, like, I mean, it's nice, but it leaves me wanting more. So the 09, perfect fit. That's the one I would go with. That's just me personally. Yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on it. You guys let me know what y'all think. If you have any questions, be sure to post them up down in the comments below. I like it. It's just a little more stripped down, a little more, I don't want to say bare bones. Obviously, there's a good amount of technology and engineering behind this thing. But as compared to like a couple of the other models in the same family, best way to see which one you like the most is to go find a Yamaha event and sign up for some test rides like we did today. Anyways, big thanks to Yamaha for obviously giving us the opportunity to test ride some bikes. Much appreciated. I'll list all the specs, I'll list links, all that stuff in the comments down below also. Damn it, I always leave the blinker on. Gotten spoiled riding a Harley, that self-canceling blinkers. Yep, overall my thoughts, I like it a lot, but it does feel like it's lacking in terms of power, but that's all personal preference. Like I said, if you're a newer rider, it might be the perfect thing for you. I've been riding for a couple years, so it does leave me wanting a little bit more, hence why my decision would be the 09. That's my take on it. You guys be sure to let me know your thoughts. Drop your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so it sends notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, you guys ride safe out there, stay vigilant, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.